everyone, Mercy here. Welcome back to my channel. So this is another one for the Otaku edition. So I wanted to try out something different with this video. I wanted to try out a monthly reading log. So this is my one monthly reading log for the month of November. This is the first time I'm trying out a video like this, so I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. So hit me up in the comment section down below. Let me know if I should do more videos like this or any other video requests you guys have. So let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're here, please take some time, smash that like button, hit that beautiful red subscribe button, become a subscriber to my channel, and please don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you're notified every time I post something new. With that down and out of the way, let's get straight down into it, shall we? First off, we have Vinland Saga Book 2. Now, Vinland Saga was one of my first seinen that I ever got into. I loved Book 1. So now I finished Book 2 in the month of November. So this introduces us to Prince Canute, and that's this guy right here. And we meet Thorfinn, who's now joined Askeladd's group of mercenaries. And this volume gives us more of an idea about what Askeladd's goals are, his views, and we get a little bit more insight into the character of Askeladd. While the first volume had a lot of backflashes in it, particularly how Thorfinn ended up joining Askeladd's group of mercenaries, this gives us more follows more of Thorfinn's journey after he joins the mercenaries. It also introduces us to Prince Canute, and this guy who's like a general in the army, sort of. I think his position is a general. So yeah, we get a good deal of history. Now I don't know where the actually goes, because history wise I don't know what exactly happens. So I'm interested in finding out more about what happened to Thorfinn, where his journey takes him, and such. So yeah, on the whole, Book 2 was really good. I did believe Book 2 was a step up to Book 1, particularly because Book 1 had a lot of backflashes in it, gave us more on the background of Thorfinn. So yeah, and another character I'm really interested is Thorkel. So I want to see where Thorkel ends up going. Thorkel is this guy who happens to turn tails on the Vikings, sort of. And there's this great fight between Thorfinn and Thorkel, despite Thorfinn being actually still a kid and Thorkel being a pretty much big ass grown man. So yeah, we get to see a lot of insight, and I'm really enjoying to see where it goes. So far I'm enjoying Vinland Saga really well. Next I have Naruto. Now I bought the Naruto box set. I'll leave a link or a card up in the I'll leave a card up somewhere on the screen right now so that you can watch the unboxing for the Naruto box set. I'll also leave links in the description down below. So now I've got, this is volume 20, but I actually read volume 17, 18 and 19. At first I was breezing through the volumes, but then I wanted to slow down a bit, because as of right now I still have only box set 1. I haven't been able to get my hands on box set 2 or 3. So I want to slow down a bit so that I'll have stuff to read. So yeah, but I read volume 17, 18 and 19. This is volume 20, and I'm currently in it. You can see the bookmark there. So volume 17, 18 and 19 basically follows after Operation Destroy Konoha is over and Orochimaru has attacked the village, and we are seeing the aftermath, and Naruto sort of goes off to train with Jiraiya. So we see that and how they are in search for the next Hokage, who happens to be Tsunade. So yeah, it's basically Jiraiya and Naruto going through training, and it also introduces us to Tsunade's character. So yeah, so that's where Naruto is right now. I don't have 17, 18 or 19. None of them are out right now with me. They are in the box set. So that's why I'm showing you volume 20. Now what I know most about Naruto volumes is a lot of these covers, even though Naruto never really, many of them, even if he doesn't play a major, he does end up being on the cover of all the volumes. So yeah, so that's one thing. Okay, next up I read Tomo-chan is a Girl, volumes 4 to 8. Now this was one of the stuff that I binge read. This is very light-hearted reading, very easy to read. So mainly we follow our female protagonist, Tomo here, Aizawa Tomo as she's called. She's pretty much a tomboy, and she's always getting into fights and stuff, and she has a crush on her childhood friend, this guy Junichiro. So, but Junichiro looks at her pretty much as just one of the guys. So he, doesn't really reciprocate her feelings. And when she does confess to him, he thinks she's telling him like, I love you as a friend, sort of, he's pretty thick-headed that way. He doesn't realize. And this is their story, how they realize, she captures Junichiro's attention, and Junichiro realizes he has feelings for Tomo. It's really hilarious. It's a 4 type style, and it's a really quick read. It's really fast and interesting. This was the first ever 4 book that series that I read, and this is complete at 8 volumes. For a long time I didn't have till volume 4. So once I got my hand on the whole set, I binge read the whole thing. It's really fun, I would say. It slows down a bit in volume 7 and 8, particularly after they end up becoming a couple. So it does slow down a bit there. But on the whole, a definitely fun read. I would recommend this. It is fun. It's really lighthearted. It's really fun how Tomo wants to tell her feelings to him, but that guy just does not understand, and how he slowly realizes and sees her for a woman, sort of. Yeah, so that's fun. Tomo-chan is a girl, definitely recommend. I had fun with this one. Next up, we have Sweat and Soap Volume 3. Now, I'm slowing down on this a bit because I do not have Volume 5. I'm up to date right now. I think Volume, if I'm not mistaken, 10 has come out, and Volume 11 will be the last. As of the moment of recording this, Volume 10 has come out, and I have up till Volume 9, but I'm missing Volume 5, so I'm slowing down on this. I want to have some left, to read. If you see most of this haul, it's going to be a lot of single volumes. There are very few that I binge read this month. I tend to do that. I read single. Now, if it's something that I really, I can't, I binge read. So Sweat and Soap Volume 3. Now, Sweat and Soap is is nothing new to the manga community. Most people love it, and I have to say, I did say that this was in some of my previous videos, I believe I said it was a shoujo or a josei, but in fact Sweat and Soap is a seinen. And as Daddy Weeb often says from Meet the Weeb family, Sweat and Soap is the one seinen that most women read, so Sweat and Soap it was a lot more spicier than I expected it to. In this particular one, they end up going for the corporate retreat sort of thing, and they're a couple, but they're trying to hide it. She doesn't want anyone to know because she's insecure about it. He's kind of going okay, but they're already established. This couple sort of establishes pretty early on that they're a couple. The artwork's cute and sweet and all, and I really enjoy it. And this is them trying to hide their relationship, but his assistant sort of picks up on it and all that. And then, there are other mixed feelings in it and stuff. So far, Sweat and Soap is a good read. I'm enjoying how much I've got so far. I'm going to hold off reading Volume 4, maybe till I somehow manage to snag Volume 5 for a good price. But yeah, Sweat and Soap, I definitely would recommend. If you can get past the initial oddity of him having this sniffing thing where he likes to sniff her, it's really wholesome, it's really sweet. It's as a couple, these two are really cute, and everyone knows pretty much where it's headed, but yeah, I will be sad when it ends though. So Sweat and Soap, if you're in for wholesome romances, they are slightly older age groups, so if that interests you rather than the high school variety, which is a bit of a welcome change, so I do recommend you read this. Alright, so we have next on the list Death Note, the Black Edition Volume 1. So this encompasses from the single editions Volume 1 and 2. Now I love these black editions, but I have said I'm not the biggest fan of the covers. I do believe the singles have better covers. I have watched Death Note, the anime. I watched it up till season 2, I think the first few episodes of season 2, and then I kind of dropped it. So Death Note is like the psychological thriller thingy, I mean, you need no introduction to Death Note. If you are into anime, if you're into manga, you probably already know what Death Note is. It's a classic. It's got all that psychological tension and the battle between two really brilliant minds. So we've got Light Yagami, who manages to get his hand on a death note. So if he writes the name of anyone on that death note, the person dies within a specified amount of time. So this is how he this volume covers how he obtains it and decides to create a world with no crime by killing all the criminals and passing judgment. So basically it's like he considers himself a god, sort of, almost. He wants to create the perfect with no crime and stuff. And then how eventually he ends up murdering all these criminals, catches the attention of the authorities, and they are baffled how these criminals are dying. So basically they bring in L, and at this point we don't know what L's full name is or anything. And this is basically a battle of minds between Light Yagami and L. It's off to a great start. I do know where it's heading right now at the moment because I have seen quite a bit of the anime. I want to see how it goes beyond this. Now the black editions are definitely the way to go when you're collecting these. The feel is really good. So Death Note, if you're into psychological stuff, thrillers and crime mysteries and stuff like that, battle of mind sort of things, I would definitely recommend Death Note. It's something you should definitely read. A bit heavy and a very text heavy also, but I really don't mind that. I enjoy it. I love the feel of the paper quality. The artwork's really amazing. Makes me want to read more of this duo's work. I'm particularly interested in Platinum End. I will get a hand on it once I'm able to get my hand on Platinum End, the first few volumes. I will definitely give it a shot as well. But the artwork is superb. The story is amazing. Definitely recommend. Next up, I have Yona of the Dawn volumes 9 and 10. So I'm slowing down on Yona at the moment, but I love this. I love the dynamics between all the four dragons and the dynamics between Huck and Yona. In these volumes, it's basically after they've gathered all the 4 dragons, and this volume is where she reunites with this dude who we met in some of the previous volumes, and he's under the impression he's killed her, and so he's killing himself over it. He feels really guilty about it, and how he ends up meeting her and realizes she's alive, and how he ends up turning himself, how he ends up reforming himself, seeing how hard she has changed, how hard Yona is working. I love that Yona is such a strong I love how Yona is such a strong female lead. The character growth she's gone is really good. This is a shoujo, a very good shoujo if you're starting off into shoujos. But the romance aspect does take a backseat. There is absolutely little to no significant progress in the romance side of things. But otherwise, it's really interesting what I've read so far. So, yeah. The artwork is gorgeous in this, and I just wanted to say one thing. I believe now the author does leave these small notes where she gives little, like in most shoujos they'll have like little notes. This mangaka, she gives these little notes. So in that she has mentioned that she used gouache paints for the first time to do the cover for this particular volume, and I found that really interesting. Gouache is a medium I'm also dabbling in lightly. I enjoy painting as a hobby. I'm by no means a professional. I owe the interest a lot to my art teacher in school. So I was interested when I saw that she said that she did the cover for this particular volume with gouache. So Yona of the Dawn, definitely recommend. This month, a lot of what I read were all really superb. I don't go into a series unless I really enjoy it. But yeah, Yona of the Dawn, definitely a fun read. I definitely suggest you pick it up. I do believe in some places the first few volumes are difficult to find, so if you want to read this, go ahead. I believe it's currently at volume 32, so I'm very much lagging behind. But yeah, Yona of the Dawn volumes 9 and 10. Next up, we have Spy Family volumes 3 and 4. Now, I wasn't able to get volume 4 for a long time, so I put off reading volume 3 and put off reading beyond volume 3. So we have volume 3 and 4. 3 gives us a more, I love these covers where they have each character sitting on a different type of mid-century modern type seat or chair. So volume 3 follows how Twilight set up his family. Anya's the little telepath girl. Now in case you don't know the story, Twilight, he's the spy. he's got to start a mission like a family. He's got to set up a fake family for a mission. So he manages to rope in this little girl. He adopts her from an orphanage, and he manages a lady to play his wife and stuff. And he needs the little girl so that he can infiltrate this hi-fi school, this really hi-fi school, so that he can get close to one of the students' parents who plays a major role in the schools. So he needs that, but unknown to him, his wife, the lady he's roped in to be his wife, is an assassin, and the little girl is a telepath. And the little girl, suffice it to say, at the end of 3, shenanigans ensue, and the little girl, she does something heroic, so she wants she wants a reward, so she asks for a little dog, and in comes our dog, who happens to be named Bond. Okay, so he's named after her favorite TV show. Now, of course, being the family that they are, the dog is in no way ordinary. This dog can see the future. So volume 4 is really fun because it's how Anya meets the dog and how they end up adopting the dog, and the shenanigans that ensue and how they end up saving the day and stuff. On the whole, I really enjoy Spy Family. I know a lot of people do say this is the perfect manga to get into if you're getting into manga. It's got everything. It's got humor. It's got a great deal of heart, surprisingly. I really found that. It's charming. It's got great action sequences. It's got something for everyone. So I definitely do suggest you check out this series. It is getting an anime adaptation, and I'm really hyped to see the anime adaptation. I will not be missing that anime adaptation. I saw the clips, the trailers and stuff, and it looks really amazing. So yeah, so Spy Family volumes 3 and 4. Next up in my reading log, I have Fire Force volume 9 and 10. Yeah, Fire Force has a heck of a lot of fan service, but I like it. Things are really heating up. These volumes are after all the characters, particularly Arthur and Shinra undergo training under Benimaru and his guys, Captain Benimaru. So they have a major boost in their powers, and they are going into the Nether, okay, to investigate more on the Evangelist's followers. So this follows basically that thing. They're ambushed inside the Nether, and Shinra has to face off against his brother Sho, and we get a better understanding of what Sho's powers are. Now this guy is the new engineer, and he makes lots of new gear. This guy, he's in charge of the research division, and right of now we don't know which side he exactly falls on, whether he's on the good side or the bad side. From what I'm gathering so far, he's somewhere in the middle. So I want to see where they take this character and how he goes. So yeah, so it's like a big face-off in the Nether. The Nether ends up being the subway tunnel sort of thing in their world, and we get a better idea of what this Adola Burst Flame is and the Adola Link. So yeah, things are really heating up in Fire Force, need I say, pun not intended. But yeah, it is fun. They do cut back on the fan service a bit on this. There is fan service. What is Fire Force unless there's fan service? They do cut back on it a bit and focus on the heavier aspects. So I loved the relationship between Shinra and his brother Sho, how they are building on that. So yeah, Fire Force I recommend. The first few volumes do go a little slow and are heavy on the fan service. If you can get past those, things really heat up. This actually Man Manga Boy, another YouTuber, great YouTuber, check out his channel. He suggested that to hang in there because stuff really gets amped up once you hit the later chapters. So yes, I'm waiting to see where this goes. It is currently with the volumes out, I think volume 23 and or so, it is reaching the final arcs. So yeah, and I do believe this is going to be this mangaka's final works. He is planning on retiring once Fire Force is complete, which is sad to see, but he did give us Soul Eater, the same mangaka as Soul Eater, and now he's given us Fire Force. So I am happy with what I got. Next up, we have Eden Zero Volume 11. Okay, so this is for all you guys who like Fairy Tail. I know people bash on Fairy Tail, but I unabashedly love Fairy Tail, and I unabashedly like Eden Zero. Eden Zero for me is a little better than Fairy Tail. This volume 11 stuff amps up, particularly the team finally faces off against Draken Joe. It ends on a cliffhanger, and I'm really interested to seeing where it goes. I have volume 12, volume 13 should be coming in sometime. So I really want to read that, but at the same time, if I read it, I have to wait for the next volume, and I don't want that. I want to have at least 2 or 3 volumes backlog that I can read. But stuff amps up here. We get an idea of what Draken Joe is after. The previous volume, I'll tell you, volume 10, was a bit darker than I expected. It was for Mashima's general works, it was a bit on the dark side, and I was shocked where it went. And they pick up on 11. We get an idea of what this guy is up to. This guy is the guild master, and Shiki and Wise face off against Draken Joe and the other team. We get an idea of what Draken Joe is after, and I believe volume 12 will be the boss fight between Shiki, Wise against Draken Joe. Yeah, so Eden Zero, definitely recommend. Like I said, this particular month, the reading log, I really enjoyed everything I read. And last but not least, what I read this month was Noragami volumes 17 and 18. So Noragami, I think volume 23 is currently out. It's just been released at the time of recording this. I should be getting up to volume 22. Volume 17 and 18, yeah. What do I say about Noragami? I enjoy Noragami. So it follows this god who happens to be a stray god with no following. He's a minor deity, and his aim in life is to have as many followers as possible, to have a huge shrine where people will come and worship him. But he's barely hanging on by a thread. So these volumes, the battle, it faces off the battle between Bishamon and the Crafter, and meanwhile Yatogami is trying to protect Bishamon from all the forces of the heavens. The heavens assume she's committed treason, so they are launching an attack against her. Meanwhile, it's like a huge misunderstanding. Meanwhile, these two guys, this guy is the god of lightning, and Takemikazuchi, I believe his name is. So he's the god of lightning, and this is his Shinki. And the thing about it is, Yato's Shinki is a blessed vessel, and that's very rare among these gods. Yukine, that is Yato's Shinki, ends up becoming a blessed vessel in one of the previous volumes, which is very, very rare. So this guy wants his Shinki also to be a blessed vessel. So the dynamic between these two characters, particularly Takemikazuchi and his Shinki, is interesting. I don't know where I stand right now with their thing. I don't know whether to hate this guy or think he's okay, whether he's a good guy. But things are really heating up. Volume 18 ends on a mega cliffhanger, and I'm really interested in seeing where it goes, but I want to slow down. Like I said, I like having a few volumes on backlog so that I don't read a volume and then have to wait like months for another volume. The release of Noragami has definitely slowed down. I think it has reduced almost 1 a year. So that's another reason I'm a little hesitant to move forward too much. But I enjoyed what we got. The action in this, it's chef's kiss superb. If you're into shonen and stuff like that, the artwork is gorgeous. You should definitely check this out. The action sequences, amazing. The characters are also really fun and lovable. Though these volumes are a bit more on the serious side because they are very action heavy rather than character building wise and all. But on the whole, yeah, Noragami, I definitely suggest you read it. Now, I didn't read the first few volumes. I picked up where the anime left. So I don't know how they are. I know Prof Otaku didn't enjoy Noragami, but I know HVL manga did. So yeah, it depends. Give it a shot. I definitely suggest you give it a shot. I enjoyed it personally. So in my books, I would definitely recommend it. So yeah, that's all I have in my reading log for this month. Do check out some of my other videos. More links will be in the description. Check out my page and stuff like that. If you want to contact me, please, you can always up on Twitter simply at mercy_d. Check out my Instagram at mercy_sd. And you can always hit me up on the Funny Pajamas Facebook page simply at Funny Pajamas. I will be putting links to all my social media contacts down in the description down below. And if you want to contact me simply by email, if you don't want to check out my social media stuff, email is always the way to go, simply on mercy@funny-pajamas.com, which is currently up on the screen. So thanks for joining me, you guys. This is really a new format for me. Let me know if I should carry on, if I should do a reading log every month. Reading manga is going to take a bit of a backside this month, because December is the Christmas month. I got lots of work to do. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys right now. So I know I rambled on a bit, a couple of the things, but yeah, this is my first time doing it. Let me know in the comment section what you think. If you have any ways I can improve, any series you think I should try out, hit me up. I'd love to hear from you guys. It makes my day when I get a comment from you guys. So that's all I have for you right now. I'm going to sign out right now. This is Mercy signing out. Bye. Have a good one, everyone.